Welcome to Diamondback Fitness. Today we are going to be assembling our 510IC. First thing you want to do is make sure you pull everything out of the box, lay it out in front of you, inspect it, and make sure we're not missing any small parts. For convenience, we've included all the tools and hardware needed for assembly, and please do not use power tools. First thing we want to do is remove this metal block that protects the lower part of the frame during shipping. We're going to take the larger of the two Allen keys and remove these two Allen bolts. After that, you can slide out this metal piece and you can discard of that and the Allen bolts. So next we're going to install the front stabilizer bar. We need a piece of packaging. I've grabbed the top piece of styrofoam that was in the box. We're going to use this to lift the front of the bike up. That way we can access all four of the Allen bolt holes needed. To install the front stabilizer bar, we are going to need 4 of the H1 Allen bolts, 2 of the curved washers, H2, and then 2 of the flat washers, H3. The flat washers with the Allen bolts are going to go in the 2 bottom holes, and then the curved washers with the Allen bolts are going to go into the front. Now that we've installed the front stabilizer bar, it's time to install the rear stabilizer bar. We've propped up the bike just like we did the front, and we're going to use the same bolts, same washers, and the same Allen key. We'll start with the flat washers first on the bottom, just like last time. Next we're going to install the seat post. That is done by loosening the seat post pop pin. You want to loosen this pin so you no longer see threading in the frame of your bike. Just do that, and you just pull out the rest of the pin that way. Slide in your seat post, wait for it to click, and then tighten it. Next we're going to install the saddle onto the seat post. When you turn your saddle over, you're going to notice 2 hex nuts on either side of this clamp. The clamp not only controls the tightness, but also controls the tilt. You can loosen these 2 and tilt that clamp back and forth. Let's go ahead and slide the saddle onto the seat post. To tighten it, you're going to need your hex wrench that's included in the toolkit. I like to do 1 or 2 turns on either side to make sure the pressure is even. Next we're going to install the right pedal into the right crank arm. You see we put stickers on each crank arm. This is right is going to be tightened clockwise and left is going to be tightened counterclockwise. This is a very crucial step. When we refer to right and left, it's always rider's right or rider's left. This is a step where you want to take your time. You want to make sure that this pedal is straight and fully seated in the crank and the threading before you start tightening it. If you're doing it correctly, you should be able to get some threading in by hand tightening. If you feel any resistance at all, any catch, you will have to back it out and try it again. The threading can be damaged if it's not straight on. You can use the wrench to fully seat it. Again, look how easy this is. Very easy for me to do because the threading is matched. Now we're going to install the left pedal into the left crank. This is going to be counterclockwise. We have the sticker just like the right that identifies the left crank and also gives you the direction on which to tighten it. Just like the right, we're going to take our time and make sure it's straight in, go counterclockwise to tighten it, not clockwise, and then completely tighten it with the pedal wrench. Next we're going to be assembling the handlebars. We're going to first thread your heart rate wire through a slot that is in the bottom of the handlebar mast and out the hole at the top. Now that we've threaded the heart rate wire through the handlebar mast, we're going to attach the first 2 Allen bolts to the handlebars. Line up the handlebars onto the mast or whatever holes you want to use, and then push down. We're going to start with hand tightening these 2. We're going to hand tighten them, and then we'll tighten them 1 or 2 turns with the larger Allen key, probably till about, I want to say about 75%, 80% tight before we take it over and install it onto the frame of the bike. Now that we've attached the handlebars to the handlebar mast with the first 2 Allen bolts, we're going to slide this assembly into the frame of the bike. We're going to do the same as we did with the seat post. Unscrew this push knob all the way out until all the threading is completely out of the frame, and slide handlebar mast in there. Let's go to the lowest setting. And you're going to want to turn this knob and tighten it as much as you possibly can, because we're going to use the frame of the bike for leverage to finish the handlebar assembly. And then once you've hand tighten it as far as you can go. We're then gonna use the Allen key and then finish, because remember, these are only like 75% tightened. We're going to finish all 4 of the bolts, tighten them as firmly as you possibly can, and then we'll move on to the next step. Next, we're gonna install the console onto the handlebar mast. We're gonna first remove the 4 Phillips head screws with the screwdriver provided. Now that we removed the 4 Phillips head screws from the back of the console, we're gonna attach the 2 wires and make sure these clip together. We're then gonna push the wires back into the handlebar mast so that the console can be attached. To begin, we're gonna remove the small Phillips head screw that holds the black end cap at the bottom of your handlebar mast. We're gonna go ahead and pry the end cap off and then pull this wire out of the front slot. We can go ahead and connect these 2 wires, and again, make sure they clip together. To reattach the end cap, we're first going to need to slide the lower wire into the slot, like so, and then push the connection into the bottom of the handlebar mast. And then take the screwdriver that was provided and that tiny Phillips head screw and tighten that back into the handlebar mast. And then you'll see slack that we've pulled out of the frame of the bike. All you have to do is push that back into the frame. That way, this loose wire, as you can see, there's no excess that could come in contact with your flywheel. Next, we're gonna install the water bottle holder. We're gonna remove these 2 Phillips head screws with one of our tools provided, and then place the holder in place, aligning with the 2 holes. Now that we've completed the assembly of the 510 indoor cycle, 3 more things to go over before we begin using it. First thing is moving the unit. We're gonna lift up the rear stabilizer bar until it gets about thigh to waist high. The wheels will engage. You can simply roll it back and forth, turn it, move it wherever you like. Plug the power adapter into the input jack that's located on the rear of your machine. Then plug the other end into a 120 volt power outlet. You'll hear a small beep from the console letting you know that power is now going through the unit. And lastly, we have the stabilizer feet, 2 on the front, 2 on the back. You simply just turn to loosen them. The more you loosen it, the higher the machine will sit. You also have a locking nut here. So you loosen it all the way out, and then you tighten just the locking nut, and that will keep the stabilizer feet from going in and out.
Thanks for watching. If you have any other questions, you can reach us at support@diamondbackfitness.com. To see our full line of products, go to diamondbackfitness.com.